So I absolutely hate cliche sayings, but you have to check this out. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna talk about at the end of the episode, but man, does this look awesome. Check this out. We have done it. We've got 2 strips up, and this episode is all about putting multicolored LEDs in your garage. Let's get to it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Detached Garage. In today's episode, we've got 2 of the strips up. Let me show you these LED strips that we've been working on. And you've probably seen the previous video, which I'll link up here. The white is still in a bit of flux right now, but we are working on getting the multicolored RGB lights installed. And so this episode is all about putting a few strips up, testing them to make sure they work, and working out any kinks that go into it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you, how to put the strips up, what LED strips we're using, the control box, the controller, a little bit of WLED on the phone, and then we're probably gonna do some troubleshooting because it's probably not gonna turn out exactly correct. So let's get into mounting the strips and what's in the control box. Let's jump right into it. All right, guys, so we are upstairs in the garage. Let's go kind of back into the utility area over here and take a look at the control box that we have mounted. So we've got our media rack here. We've got this string of cable, and I still need to do some cable management, but we've got this string of cable coming across here. And then down here is the control box for the LEDs. So we have the power supply. Right now, I just have a temporary plug hooked up coming out from the AC. So we're plugged into this outlet here, but we're eventually gonna plug into this box here so that we can have a switched access to turn this on. This is a NEMA box. It is vented, so we do have some vents on the side here. So this could be mounted outdoors if you mount it vertically, but let me show you what we got going on here. So we have AC in here. We've got 2 4-gauge wires going into here for the DC, and then we've got that split into 2 8-gauge wires going into the control board. Right now, we have 2 wires coming in, 1 for each strip. Again, we're gonna clean this up. This is just all temporarily mounted. We've got the Wago clips on there just to make sure everything is working correctly and our wire routing is correct. So this wire coming out of the control board is 3 wires. You've got your positive, your negative, and your data. So this comes out, goes up here, and then travels along all of our other Cat 5, Cat 6 cable, and then comes down the actual trusses. It comes down and goes to where it needs to go. So it's a little bit difficult to see and a little bit dark back here, but what we have is 2 of the units hooked up. So we're running a 24-volt system. So we've got our 24-volt power supply, and we've got 2 of the 11 hooked up for the big garage area, and then we will have some additional to hook up for the wash bay. My main goal is to troubleshoot, see what we got. The runs here are pretty long. So these studs are 24 inches on center, so we have over a 10-foot run. So I'm trying to figure out if we need data and signal boosters, which I think we're going to, but right now, let me take you downstairs and show you some of the things that we can do with these lights. All right, so welcome to the scissor lift again. We have, as we said, we are doing every other truss with white. So these are the power supplies for the 0 to 10 volt dimming of the white strips. And then every other, we are going to install the RGB strip. So right now we've just got them installed, and we've got just the Wago clips on them right now just to make sure they work and just to make sure everything is functioning. And you can see if I zoom in here, this is a chip on board. So it's 3 wires. You've got your ground, your data, and your power. And similar thing, you can snip these and cut these to length. So we've got this is the chip on board F-Cob from BTF Lighting. I will link this in the description. And you can see the difference between this, which you can see the exposed LEDs. This has a bit of sealant on them, so these are wet rated LEDs. And you can buy these in black black strips as well, so they wouldn't reflect light and you wouldn't be able to see them from the top. But we're gonna put diffusers on these anyways, so no use in doing that. So welcome to having the lights on. Now, you can see the lights ripping across there. This is called Chase Rainbow. There's quite a few different effects you can do with WLED, but this is gonna be pretty awesome when it is every other strip all the way across. I cannot wait to get this all set up so you guys can see it in action, but we're having a few issues with the LED strips. It's not as noticeable in Chase Rainbow, but let me cut the video and I am going to switch it over to the Aurora setting and you'll see some flicker in these LED strips. All right, so this is supposed to kind of look like the Aurora Borealis, you know, the blues, the greens kind of streaming through here. You can see it a little bit up there, kind of brighter in some sections, dimmer in others. But what you can see here is quite a bit of flickering from this LED here. If you watch closely, you'll see quite a bit of flickering as it comes through. And so that is not supposed to be happening. And what is likely happening is that data signal is getting disrupted. So I do have a long data run. It's over 10 feet from the box, which is kind of over here, going up along that wire channel and then back down. And we've basically come through the floor right here. It's just right next to some speaker wires, so there's no like power or anything coming through there. But we are having this flickering issue. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to go up to the center. I'm going to cut the 3-wire cable and splice in some data and signal boosters to see if this helps with our problem. It's supposed to look like this, you know, nice slow moving, just kind of pulsing bright aurora sequence instead of this kind of flashy flickering, you know, not very smooth sequence. All right, guys, so I am back up at the control box. It is powered on right now. We are going to power it off, but I just wanted to show you this. This is a Falcon data booster, all right? So you can see it's 3-wire as well. I'll flip it around the right way. So you've got your ground, you've got your data, and you've got your voltage. So what this is going to do is I'm going to splice this in line. I'm going to try it in a few different places. I'm going to try it in an easy place right away. So I'm going to try to put it, I'm going to take these Wagos off. We're just going to basically put this in line right here. And so I'm not sure how well that's going to work, since basically this wire comes up, it goes down this run of cables and then over into this truss right here and then straight down to the LED strip, so over 10 feet. So we're gonna try putting it here first, and then after that, once we put it there, then if that doesn't stop the flickering, then we're gonna put it, call it in the middle here, so it will boost the data signal. So basically how this works is, this is a little circuit board inside that steals a little bit of power to help boost the data signal along the way. So now this Falcon unit is sealed. You can use this outside and it does have this nice little mounting feature. So it is potted in here. So you can see it's basically filled with epoxy over the circuit board. So you can use this outdoor if you are doing like a Christmas light setup or something like that. So let's get this spliced in. Let's go downstairs after we get it spliced in and see if it fixes our flickering issue. All right, guys, so one thing to note here, you see the arrow on with the ground data voltage and the arrow at the at the top there. So make sure that is running in the correct direction from, so this side over here will be towards the controller, and then the arrow is pointing towards your LED strip, so the data is flowing in the correct direction. All right, guys, so we have it coming out of the unit here. We've got the white is ground, the red is data, or I'm sorry, the white is ground, the green is data, the red is voltage. We've got it spliced in here with some Wagos right here. Again, this is simply temporary, trying to test where we need to put it. The black is ground, the yellow is data, and the red is voltage. We've got some very, very nice 14 gauge wire here that is stranded together running to that second LED strip. So let's plug this unit in here and see if there's any smoke. We have power on, no smoke. All right, let's go downstairs and see if we can see if this voltage boost, or if this data booster has fixed our problem. All right, guys, so as you can see, the second strip is doing really, really nice right now. Very smooth, very flowing with the Aurora, but the first strip is actually the one that is having some issues right now. I don't know if you can see it, but there is some flashing here and there on that strip. But the second strip is doing perfect. The light is just kind of flowing through very nicely. But the first one is the one with some issues. So let's put a data booster on that as well and see if we can get this thing fixed and get everything taken care of. All right, guys, so we have no flickering whatsoever. This data booster solved the problem. We've got nice, smooth Aurora type motions here for this. So we are set. This is temporary wiring right now, so we will get everything with connectors on it and everything like that, but this is pretty cool. You can't really see the blue in it too well just with this camera lighting, so I think what I'm gonna do is we will set up another camera, and then I will change to a bunch of different effects, and we will show you what it looks like. I hope you all enjoyed the installation of these RGB LEDs and the addressable LEDs as well. We're going to go into more detail in a future episode, and we're also going to go into the permanent installation of these lights. Again, these are just temporary wiring, so we could figure out how to fix the flicker and how to get them mounted and make sure they work. So in a future episode, we're going to go through the permanent wiring. We're going to go through more LED controls in WLED so you can set yours up as well. Again, I will link all of these products in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this content, please give me a like. Please put your comments down below. I'd love to engage in a conversation with you about how to help you do the same thing in your garage. Thanks again for watching Detached Garage, and we'll see you in the next episode.